We turn our attention to Birmingham again, a city that has been in the spotlight in the media for the wrong reasons this week. We've had pro-Palestine protests. We've had a woman murdered in Albury. We've had someone critically fighting for their life from Birmingham city centre. And now we have new famous faces. These are the faces wielding machetes like it's nothing, getting involved in a sword fight in the middle of a street outside HMP Birmingham, but I have no care in the world. I'm going to show you some extremely shocking footages, still images and clips of this machete fight and how barbaric it is. But the irony of it all, these famous faces, the same type of faces, doing it outside of prison, absolutely crazy. And you're never going to believe it. Guess what? The police still have no identity, no suspects, no arrests made. You can't make it up. West Midlands Police has had a shocker this week, in my opinion. I think they've been absolutely awful, have not kept their city safe. And as we know, Birmingham is no longer safe to run. It's no longer safe to live, and it's no longer safe on our streets. So welcome along to True Rip Media, the channel that speaks the truth, exposes the truth, and lives the truth, and the truth will be heard. And again, this is a type of footage and image that the media won't want to share too much. They won't want to depict this type of image unless they have the identity of these people. And I'm going to give you a little bit more of a background on what I mean by the identity, because someone has put a very good post online to depict what's happened in Birmingham this last week and why the mainstream media is covering one certain story and not another. And it'll be interesting to see how they focus on this. So let me share with you that clip. Let me then share with you the machete fight and also give a bit more contextual background as well. So have a look at this, people. Have a look at this clip and, piece of evidence here. 2 attacks. The brutal murder of Lily Whitehouse, a 19-year-old woman in Albury, and a horrific stabbing 7 miles away in Birmingham city centre. A man called Mohammed Azim has been charged with former crime, the murder of Lily Whitehouse, and a black British man, Dejanson Raphael, charged with the latter. The BBC and Sky News have extensively covered the second attack, the one being stabbed in Birmingham city centre, while completely ignoring the first, an actual murder. A new hierarchy is emerging because the second attack was allegedly committed by a black British man. He gets full coverage on TV and across other media. The other, committed by someone with a Muslim name, probably of Pakistani descent, gets memory hold, completely ignored by the major news outlets and broadcasters. That is an interesting one. And then, to round it up, the current BBC chair is one, Samir Shah. Might have something to do with it. I mean, let's just talk about that quickly, because this is important to this story today. Mainstream media seem to want to publicize anything that is to do with a British national. We saw the Huntington train attacks as well, when they uncovered that it was a British national, and then a Caribbean descent was the second person they arrested and then had to release him. But this whole idea of anyone being a British national, the mainstream media want to let us know. If it's not, buried and hidden. Why is that? Why is that? You let me know in the comments why that is. So there's one thing for us. The second thing then is, of course, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, let's have a little bit more information on this machete fight that is being talked about in this video today. So here it is. So machete brawl erupts outside HMP Birmingham prison. This is the crazy thing, right? To actually have the audacity to do this outside of prison is nuts. 3 young men armed with machetes and a knife clashed on Winson Green Road near HMP Birmingham shortly before 11 p.m. on November the 8th, as captured in witness video that was spread online. West Midlands Police responded to the scene, conducted searches, but identified no suspects and reported no injuries. The incident occurred just before Remembrance Sunday, highlighting persistent concerns about knife crime in the West Midlands amid a slight national decline in such offences. And I have to laugh again, the fact that no arrests made, and there's this footage going around of this attack. And I'm going to show you some of those clips now. But, you know, It's absolutely brazen to do this outside of prison. They've got no concern, no worry. And police really have not got a grip of this. Really have not got a grip of this. So let's have a look at then this image of this fight, that machete fight that I'm describing to you now, so you can get a real glimpse of it. So the first thing is here. It starts off, as you can see, and I think this image is very important to show you, is that it starts off, okay, with them being in the street. And what's key is what I'm about to show you here. You've got a car there going in that direction. You've got a car coming this way. And obviously the person who filmed it is right here. Okay. Here's the fight. You've got 2v1. There's a 2v1 here. Now, I've shown you the picture of these two, and I'll show you the picture of this one in a minute. But that's the first contextual information. A 2v1 in the middle of the street. This isn't like some industrial estate. This is quite brazenly in the open. And, of course, something that, you know, we have to be aware of. Again, let's really zoom and hone in on this attacker and the way in which he holds that knife with massive intent, but nothing but to go and kill. And I always say this: anyone who carries a machete is looking to cause nothing but the worst possible outcome. And I'll stand by that. Okay, so here's the next image for you to have a look at, which is the two squaring off. So of course, with these machetes, they're not getting too close to each other. There is that distance, but you can now start to see the description of the third male involved. Okay, I showed that picture of the first two, but you can now see the third male involved. Bin bags just there, outside people's houses, HMP Birmingham, right around the corner. Absolutely ludicrous scenes. And then finally, as we move forward and the attack gets worse, I just think the size of the blade I want to show you as well. This is what scares me. The size of that blade. Look at that weapon. That's no joke. That weapon is no joke there, is it? It's absolutely over a foot long. Like that, I can't get my head around that. I cannot get my head around that. So as the two, I don't even know what to call them, thugs, criminals, are squaring up, they approach the guy, and this is where you can see the second blade. This is where you can see someone forgot to bring a machete to the party, basically, and that is this gentleman here. Forgot to, well, he's not a gentleman, but this character here forgot to bring his machete. So there's his blade that he gets out to show. So you've got machete-wielding person here, small blade here, and you've seen the other. Note the three descriptors of the people involved in this video. Okay, so there's another still shot for you there. And then as it evolves, again, because the police are not going to do anything about this, and I'll tell you why the police aren't going to do anything about this. This is another crazy image to show you, is because no one got hurt. Now, again, the standoff, but to see that, remember, this guy's just sat here in his car filming all of this. You can see actually the lights there that the cars are behind, but this is just crazy. I still can't get over it that they're not checking their shoulders to see who's watching, that they could be on camera, that their faces, which we're now doing, are being exposed. Like, none of that is absolutely filtering through their tiny sized brains, so to speak. So again, does anyone get hurt? No, there's no blow at the moment exchanged. And that's another thing. You can see another still image here. This is about as close as I get. There's a lot of wave in the blades. There's a lot of trying to stab and jab, but nothing of that sort that gets too close. And then finally, as those couple of exchanges happen, it gets to a point where one decides to back off. And the one who backs off, as you can see, is this person here, who decides again with his long machete they're just going to walk off in the different direction, still checking his shoulder to see if they will follow or come with him, and it ends in nothing at all. So what are we saying? That's a big machete brawl in the middle of a street outside of prison, no one hurt, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. For me, the police now have to use this footage, hunt down these people, get them behind bars, confiscate their weapons, do more stop and searches, and tighten up the streets. You can't simply say, oh, no one got hurt. we'll just turn a blind eye. But that's what they're going to do. That's what the West Midlands police are going to do. They're actually going to turn a blind eye to this because there was no one hurt. Key taking away points are: look at the victims. Look at, not the victims. Look at the people who are involved. Look at the people who are carrying the weapons. Look at where they're doing it, and tell me what culture and society are we creating. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, that's the end of this video. If you do like this content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Smash the like, comment, all that good stuff. I'm out of here. I'll be back on later. Ta-da.